What's going on, Star Wars fans? How is everybody doing?
Hello there.
We are back live this week. So I appreciate everybody being considerate about taking off last week and coming back again this week. We got some new things going on in the Star Wars world, so we'll talk about them this week. Right now, it's just Derek and I. Nick's going to jump in on the comments. He's on his way up to Minnesota, so it was a little bumpy going in and out and cutting in and out. So we figured we'd just have him jump in the chat and chat along with us. So how are you, Derek?
I'm doing well. We're trying some new things. So I'm trying to see if we can get like some polls going on in the chats, and so bear with us a little bit as we experiment with some new ways to do things.
Yes, for sure. If you're on here, throw us a comment. Let us know what's going on, and if you're in here, so we can talk to everybody and let us know what's if you can see the comments or the chats or anything like that. There he is.
Yeah. Driving 12 hours. Look at this guy.
Yeah, exactly. No, thank you. So, let's start off with a couple of the new things. We'll get into that. If anybody hasn't heard, there's a very big speculation. Nothing's confirmed yet about a Kenobi season 2. Sorry, which Mike was talking about it yesterday on his podcast, and I threw up a comment. I would love for that to happen. That is actually my favorite of the live action, which I know some people aren't too keen on it, but again, it was also one of the better live actions that came out as well.
I agree.
For the crowd, but even for watching, which I thought was pretty cool. So now, Todd, my buddy Todd Parrott's on there. He said he's not commenting though. You can comment. It's okay.
Yeah, we definitely want you to comment, Todd. I miss Todd. Todd, what a great guy.
What's up, Jake? Jake jumped on there. Appreciate it. Wednesday, baby. That's right. We are live talking about Star Wars. So, that's right. You know Todd. I forgot about that.
Of course I know Todd. I worked with Todd for 5 years.
Yeah.
He's the best.
But like I was saying, with season 2, I would love it. I don't think it's going to happen. There's a lot of speculation. There's a lot of things coming out. There's nothing new, or there's nothing official yet. There is some talk about, there's after Ahsoka and Grogu and Mando, there's really nothing in the works for live action as far as we know. We still have Star Killer, Heir to the Empire, things like that. But I think it'll be interesting if that comes to fruition. And me and Nick were just chatting about it yesterday, very shortly. And obviously he would like it too. But there's nothing. It would have to be completely different, pretty much. Are they going to bring Reva back or Reva or whatever? She didn't die. Liam Neeson is pretty much done. I actually watched, I was going to pull it up and I didn't have time. Watched an interview with him several years ago from when he did the Kenobi series. And he said, it was fun to get back in and work with Ewan on that. But that was just a little special. What was it, about 30 seconds, if that, on there? What's your thoughts on season 2 coming out?
I mean, I think that they're the ones that leak a lot of this, like, oh, it could happen, and I'm looking at like Screen Rant and all those, but I think it's Lucas and Disney that leak this stuff just to test the water, to see what people start saying. It's like, oh, what are the shows saying? What are the influencers? What are the fans saying? And then when they get enough of it, I think they really go in on the green light, and maybe they've already done it. I hope they've already done it, because those guys aren't getting any younger.
True. That's very true.
And then it looks like we have our first working poll.
All right.
Yay. It said, can you see this? We have 3 votes of yes. Thank you.
Okay, so you can see all of that. So I can't, let me see if I can pull that up here. I don't even know if I can, I guess I got to click on this.
I think we're gonna see a teenage Luke subconsciously using the Force. Mm, I don't know. I kind of don't think so.
No,
I don't. Um, but the other big thing is like what other characters are going to return in that. I mean,
exactly.
because we've got some great characters in there.
Oh yeah, I mean, if Hayden comes back, that would be epic. And it's going to have to be a flashback,
Mhm.
or they put him. Yeah, yeah. They're not going to they're not going to do another Vader Kenobi scene,
Right.
so they're not going to bring him back. That was the big finish. Obviously, was season one. So it would definitely. I think it would have to be similar to learning how to become a Force ghost, because when he does die on the Death Star, um, you know, in A New Hope, he becomes that Force ghost, which he has to learn from Qui-Gon.
Yeah, and do you think that they're going to bring back, like Leia again? I mean, they'd have to, right? Or would they?
See, I don't think so. We might be more concentrated on Luke and maybe something on Tatooine. He can't go rummaging through the galaxy just off doing these little favors for Bail Organa or whoever decides to call him up. 'Cause that sort of defeats the purpose of him being on Tatooine and watching over Luke. So I think that would be
Yeah,
interesting.
but do you think they would do some cutscenes of like, oh, hey, I mean, they did it with Mando and they've done it with Boba Fett. So like maybe there's two stories going on. Like, how did Leia get into the position she was in?
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
love to see that.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. But I also think that if it's called Kenobi, you gotta pretty much have him as, Nick said, Miller's Kenobi novel is a vibe for season 2.
See, I
Have
haven't
you
read
read that?
that.
Uh,
I have
I'm trying to
not.
think if I have or not. Is that canon, Nick, or is that, Legends? Do we know?
I can do the
This
old Google search.
Okay.
Nick will
Another
probably
thing
get before I do.
another thing we're talking about with new stuff for Star Wars coming out is,
Not canon.
not canon. Okay,
Non-canonical.
okay. Which, again, it could still we could turn it into canon. I'm gonna have to audiobook that. I'm still reading, Rising Rebel, the prequel to, Rogue One with Rey and where she's with Saw, which is actually pretty good. I just haven't had a chance to read it in the last few weeks here. So, and I got that Wayfinder too. Is it Wayfinder? No, not Wayfinder. The newest one for, Acolyte, that newest book, which
Mm.
I'm very excited about reading that.
Nick says self-contained
Self-contained.
Tatooine Kenobi
Yeah.
stuff. I think that would probably be the majority, but I think if they don't do some cutaway for Leia, and I don't know, people didn't really like Kid Leia. I did. I
Oh,
thought it
I
was
did too.
cool. Yeah,
I thought
but
she
there
was
was a lot
great.
of people that didn't. I thought she was great. And even if it's not like Kid Leia, maybe it's like teenage, um, as she's starting to get older. Again, like how she gets into politics.
Right.
I'd love to see it. Even if it's, you know, 2 episodes where it's just like cutaway. Oh, she's doing fine.
Yeah.
I think it'd be great.
Oh, I think so. I think so too. I'd love to have both. You could have both of them in there,
Totally.
for this season, for sure. I'm gonna cut to this. I don't know if everybody can see it. This Daniel Rickman. Do you know who is that gentleman? Um,
Daniel Rickman. That sounds familiar.
Rich, Richmond,
Er,
however you say it.
I was
But
thinking
now there
Alan
are
Rickman.
some potential developments with the series not mentioned above. But Obi-Wan Kenobi, the new report from Insider, Richmond says that season 2 Kenobi is in development at Lucasfilm. So again, maybe I can click on this guy right here and it'll tell us what he's doing here. Twitter influencer and writer.
Mm.
It looks like he does Marvel and DC stuff. So again, it's there's nothing official yet, and maybe he is the insider. Maybe he's got somebody that's a friend over at Lucasfilm or something, or at Disney. Which, again, I would love it. I think it would be fantastic. I think Ewan did a great job this last time. Again, it was my favorite because for me it brought me back to the OG stuff, and that's where all the we never knew what happened with that. Those 20 years or whatever it is in between, where we figure out what's going on with Luke and Leia when they're after Revenge of the Sith. Nick,
Well,
what's your thought on that? If you mind commenting on there, do you think it'll happen? Or anybody out here, if you guys think that'll happen, maybe we could put up a poll for that. Who thinks yes or no? Who thinks that this is actually going to come to fruition in reference to?
I put a Q&A. If we get season 2 of Kenobi, what would you like to see?
Okay.
I threw that up. I can always do more polls. We're like I said, this is new for us because we're trying out new tech. But the weird thing is, like, we use software to go live, and then you have to go into the actual YouTube software, and then I have to like watch it. It's goofy. It's just goofy. But it's fun. We like it.
If you haven't checked it out already, Derek's got a new podcast out, Living with the Land Speeder. You guys just dropped that the other day, yesterday, a couple days ago?
We did.
Yeah.
Here's a hint. I tried to turn the aquarium, and not try. This what I wanted to do is turn the aquarium at Epcot into the garbage disposal on the Death Star.
Okay. I was gonna go with Camino.
So yeah, we definitely had some Camino and some different things like that, and some Naboo, and but that was our 49th episode, so we're
Wow,
gonna hit 50.
that's pretty cool.
Oh, we got some comments with Kenobi connecting with the Force, learning how to become a Force ghost. I'm curious how much knowledge he's going to gain about the galaxy as a whole. Okay. Owen going hard on Spice explains him aging so badly. That's okay. There you go. There's not much to do on Tatooine. Not anytime soon, but want to see you and transform to Alec. Oh,
Yeah, that was Nick. Well, and I'm gonna go to Jacobs. With Kenobi, like I was saying, I think without Liam Neeson signing on to this project, I don't think you're gonna have a good way for him to learn how to be a Force ghost.
hmm.
I think that Liam Neeson has to be a big part in that. I don't think now could we do it in animation? Absolutely. I think that would be fantastic. But as Kenobi season 2, like Nick was saying, I think we're going to have to keep it internal, or on Tatooine, maybe little missions here and there, or whatever's going on. But I don't think that we're going to be able to get a Force unless and somebody was saying, or maybe it was even Mike was saying, money talks. Maybe Liam Neeson, they offer him a shit ton of money and he comes back, which would be fantastic. But I did like the flashbacks with Ewan and Hayden, when they were training. That was fantastic. I thought,
Totally. Now, I guess that also makes me wonder, do you think that they could use a voice double and use him just like as a Force voice? Because they've done that before in movies and in different things, and then around the parks they do that.
Yeah. Well, but I'm guessing they probably have to have his permission to use his
I
voice,
mean,
even on AI.
well, they what if they just got like somebody like James, where you just have
Yeah,
somebody
a
who's a
voice
voice
actor.
actor? Then you
Yeah.
don't need his permission at all because they own the character.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's true.
it's a thought. Or
Yeah.
he could just do a voiceover really quickly.
Yeah.
I think fans would get mad at that though.
Yeah, I think people want to see him. I think they want to see Qui-Gon, and I would too. I mean, I think it would be fantastic if Qui-Gon came back,
Amazing. It'd be so good.
you know? And that's the thing I think is hard sometimes when you have actors like that, again, look at what happened with Jimmy Smits for Andor. He got too tied up in that whatever else he was doing. The one thing I love about Samuel is Samuel's like, I'll clear my books if we want to do another Mace Windu. Mace Windu, you know.
Please,
He's all
please.
for it, which I think would be fantastic.
They have to do it. Like, come on.
Another Mace.
Yeah, I mean, Mace Windu is one of my absolute favorite characters.
I think it would be fantastic if was it Bryce Dallas Howard did it. You know,
Mhm.
she's hinted towards that sort of, but I think it would be fantastic for her to do it as well.
I think it'd be great. And not animated. Like, I want
Yeah,
him. I absolutely want Samuel L. Jackson on camera with that purple lightsaber.
yeah,
We
that
all
would be
want it, right? Does everybody want that? I know I do.
absolutely. What do we got on that? Anything coming in on our poll or
I think those questions were just ones
questionnaire?
that came through it.
Okay,
We did get 5 votes on the first poll if you could see this, so that's great.
there we go. Well, hey, at least we know it's working.
Yes, yes, it is kind of fun. Like, I mean, I'm a tech guy. It's what I do.
Yeah,
So anytime we can add a new element into things, also to make it more interactive. And I think that's something good. I always love asking people like, "What do you want to see in the show too?"
right.
And I know you were talking about some news. Obviously, that's the big maybe news, but there's some other news that was happening in Star Wars. If you're like me, who I'm moving this weekend, still in Des Moines, but just to a different place, and I just packed up all my Lego, and it's heartbreaking, but there is so much going on in Lego Star Wars right now. They just released the new August sets, which are really, really, really good. And they're doing more Clone Wars stuff and they're doing more Order 66, like minifigs. Lego, just take my money. Just take it. Oh, here we go. Mace Windu, scarred, possibly robotic prosthetics. Oh, possibly unhinged. Oh, I'm in. If they give me any Mace Windu, I would be totally fine with that. All right,
I
so
really
here's
think
the
I think everybody would be in reference to that. Oh yeah, here
yeah.
it is. This is the newest, which I'm sure you probably saw already as well. This guy
Yes.
here.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have to get it. And some of those are worth some money. Like there's a couple Darth Vader figures that are worth a couple $100 and they're just the minifigs. Or
Yeah.
like the little characters. Rebuild the Galaxy. I love the Rebuild the Galaxy stuff. Which, I've got the Dark Falcon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's the one thing I don't get into, so we have this one as well. This is all part of the Rebuild the Galaxy,
Mhm.
which that is.
You had to pull up all the other ones that are launching too, because we've got a UCS ATST Walker, a Republic Juggernaut, and a Battle of Fallujah Separatist MTT, as well as Jango Fett's Starship. And they're also calling it Fire Spray.
Fire spray?
I guess if Django is flying, it's Fire Spray.
Oh, instead of Slave One?
Yeah, well they've erased Slaved One now. They don't like that. It's problematic. So
Oh, okay.
but the box that I bought for my Boba Fett said Slave One. No, in Django's, it's the same ship. It's just different coloring.
Right,
It's more that blue, green, and yellow.
right.
But I tell you what, that new ATST looks quite stellar. And then the tank, the Separatist MTT, I have. Oh, it's packed up. Duh. I used to have it right here. I have one unbuilt, but it is all right, folks. Don't hate me. It's from Timu, and it's a knockoff. But the last set of Lego Star Wars I got from Timu ended up going viral. It's Darth Vader's castle, and it's perfect. But my wife got it for me for Christmas. She's like, it was only like $30. Now that same set, the knockoff one's on eBay for like $800.
Damn.
Like, why did I build it? I was gonna leave it in the box. And she was like, no, you have to build it. That's the fun. Like, I have a lot of fun looking at the box. Like, I really enjoy it. Like, Ron's got all his Funko Pops and stuff. My
Yeah,
Funko Pops are out of the box, but his are in the box.
they
So
are.
I don't know. Um, yeah. You don't think you'll ever get into Lego?
I don't think so. I think it would be too much. I think I got them right here. Okay.
There you go. Yep. There we
Yeah.
go. Yeah, that ATST is gonna be mine without a doubt. Um, I like the Republic Juggernaut too,
Yeah.
because I've got that like spider looking craft that Mando and Bo-Katan are on. Um,
Okay.
that one's a really cool little set, and it kind of has that same vibe. You need to get into Micro Galaxy Squadron. Oh no, it's so good. It's just that's a money pit.
The Micro
Getting
Galaxy.
yeah.
Yeah, fire spray. Yep, there you go.
Yeah, I don't
He's also on
understand the fire
September.
spray thing. Maybe does anyone can anyone confirm? Nick might know this. Is that like in some of the books or what?
Yeah, fire spray class starship. I will say that I went to Hallmark yesterday and put my order in for all of the new Hallmark ornaments that'll be coming out.
You'll get your Hallmark ornaments, but Lego's too far.
Well, because
Come
I
on.
have to put them together.
Come
At
on,
least the
man. You don't
Hallmark
have to. Keep them in the box. Keep them in the box, baby.
True,
Just
true.
shake them around every now and then, just so they're still feeling you. It says best one by far is the replica of Ghost from Rebels. Oh, I wish I had that one for sure. I'm also looking at some other ones. They've got some like other small things. That ATST is $200.
Really?
That's the other problem with Lego. They're
Yeah.
expensive. And the Juggernaut's 160, as well as the Felucia Separatist MTT. So my $30 MTT is looking mighty fine right now.
Yeah.
Now, I think mine's like a small one. I don't think it's the same size. It's pretty legit, but the AT-ATs are awesome. Yeah, if I could afford an AT-AT Lego. Now I've got a couple AT-AT toys over here. One's a popcorn bucket, and one is the 90s AT-AT, the big one. It's really big.
That's cool. I have the 90s here at the house.
So it's probably the same one. Like the head moves and the side opens up and the top opens up. You can put figures in it, I guess. I got that one was gifted to me. I'm like, that's a pretty good gift.
That's that's a pretty nice gift.
Man, okay. I'm just saying right now, I'm buying the ATST, and it comes out August 1st.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, and it's cool. It's like a lot of these now are coming with the little plates that have, it says what they are, and they come with an extra minifig, which is really great. The Micro Galaxy sets can be found for 40 or less. Really? I thought they were way more, but there's so many. Let me look. Now
What's
you're gonna make me go down.
Django blew up all all the other fireflies, so he had only one and nobody else could. That's pretty cool.
Okay.
Is that comics or is that book, Nick? And while he's doing that, Steve, I know you're still on here. There was something about Ahsoka season 2 is in full swing. That the actress that plays Shin Hati
Mhm.
of Ivana Sakano or whatever that confirmed on June 28th that filming is underway, and she
Ooh.
promises a deeper storyline and expanded role for her character, though the release date remains unannounced. And of
Mm.
course, they're going to hang on to that as long as they can.
Totally. Oh, Nick said, "Can you imagine the 501st with a couple of fire sprays?" Yeah, that'd be like, and that's the thing. It's like, oh, they were all destroyed. Couldn't they have made more? Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, see,
Yeah,
I'm
if they
looking
were
at these micro galaxy squadrons. There's a ton. There's a lot, but they are, you know, there's a set for 60. Here's a oh, that's like from a third party. Walmart.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's the micro galaxy ghost. That's 30.
Oh, that's not too bad.
No,
Now, how big are those? Like the size of your hand or something?
a little bit
Pretty
smaller.
small.
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. Wow.
Yeah, it's like a playoff, almost like micro, not quite micro machines, but like Hot Wheels cars almost.
Hmm. Well, it's like Steve was saying that, yeah, he didn't realize that she was the villain in Megan 2.0. I didn't either, but I didn't watch the first one either. But yeah, I think she's probably gaining a little bit of steam in the acting world. coming off of a Star Wars,
Oh, yeah.
live action or movie. I mean, how many people have become, you know, not a lot, but a bunch of them have become more famous now or gotten bigger roles. I mean, obviously the biggest one is Harrison Ford,
Indeed.
but yeah, so that'll be cool, and I think they have they announced was it the villain? Is it the villain for the Mall series? The actress that's she does like a lot of goth stuff and horror movies.
Yeah, and I looked her up because I didn't know her. It was like a lot of
Yeah, she's
B-list
Shia
things,
LaBeouf's
right?
like girlfriend or wife or something,
Yes.
which is pretty crazy. So again, we're getting into more yeah, Mia Goth. Yeah, that's it.
Steven said
With
most
uh,
starfighters are hand sized. Ghost is about 15 inches?
wow.
I thought they were much smaller. Oh, what can I
I'd,
say?
I'd definitely get the ghost. That'd be freaking awesome. But yeah, and that's circling back around to that. That now they're saying that Ryan Reynolds could possibly do a cameo in Star Wars Starfighter because I'm guessing, well, obviously he dealt with Sean Levy in the movie that he did with Wolverine and Deadpool. But I don't know how I feel about that. I think it's I love that everybody wants to get into that and do that, but also like with the Ryan Gosling thing, I'm not a fan of bringing him as the main character for a movie like that. Yeah, I know they brought, Jude Law in for Skeleton Crew, which was great, but again, he was the villain technically, I think, and he did have a big role, but I don't think he was the main character. But I think
No.
when you bring in someone like Ryan Gosling, who's going to be a main character, and again, I understand they're going to pay the money to bring new fans in here, but to throw Ryan Reynolds in there, it's going to have to be some sort of comedic thing if he comes in with Ryan Reynolds, whether it's a one liner or whatever with him,
Yeah, but I'm with you. I'm like just not sold. Like I love Ryan Reynolds. I just don't.
Yeah,
I don't know. Some things just you don't have to be in everything. You don't.
right,
You don't.
yeah,
All right. So it looks like it's pretty unanimous that I was just way off with like thinking that these were all really, really small. You know what I was thinking? I get it. I was thinking of Star Wars Legion. I was thinking of the
okay.
tabletop game stuff. Not okay. Now I understand. I'm looking at stuff now. I was way out. Samsonite. I was thinking you guys were talking about like doing tabletop gaming, which is cool. I would love to get into that. But then, that's even more time you have to dedicate.
Oh yeah,
But man,
that's
those minifigs are really, really cool. I'm like looking at some right now. Great. I just went into a rabbit hole of more things I need to spend money on Star Wars. This is bad. I shouldn't be on this podcast anymore, Ron. Just spend
now you're
money.
funny.
No, it's great. It's a lot of fun.
Let's see what else is new here. I think we just touched briefly on that Gareth Edwards confirmed that he won't return to the helm of Star Wars film, which I thought it was interesting because he does Rogue One and then he also does which one of the sequels? Um, Somebody help me out here. Nick, are you still on here? What's what's the second movie of the sequels? Holy cow! That's how much I
Is it Last
enjoyed them.
Jedi?
The Last Jedi,
Yeah,
yes.
Last Jedi. I had to
Uh,
look at my poster. Sorry, that's what I was doing. I have a
is that
poster
the
with
one
all
that
6
he
movies,
is that the one that
or all 9.
Gareth Edwards directed as well?
Uh,
If you can
Dumb
pull,
and Dumber
you can probably pull
reference.
it up faster than me.
I'm
But
like,
either way, he's done with Star Wars. It sounds like so that'll be interesting. Um, I think he did a great job with Rogue One. Again, it's not that I didn't like the sequels. I did, and I think there's a good story. And again, as I've said before, Shadow of the Sith brings a lot more meaning into the sequels. So that definitely helped me out. So, but I thought the cinematography in them were fantastic. The story was not maybe the way that I would have planned it, especially the ending. But again, it's still out there. It's canon, so they're going to build on it. Obviously, they've started what now they've canceled the Ray movie for a little while. Is that correct? Did you see
I think
that?
yeah, well, yeah, delayed, but
Delay.
indefinitely? I mean, they don't have any start date.
Right. Or anybody signed on yet either, as far
Right.
as we know. The new Coca-Cola cans are out. Nick and I, or not Nick, Jacob and I were talking about that, or he messaged me, and so we gotta go out there and do that. Yeah, he was an extra in the last Jedi on the planet there with the salt mines and stuff. He's in the trenches, and the camera comes across him, and you can see him, and I think he's the only one without a helmet on in that, so you can see that it's him. There might have been somebody else down the line or something, but it was just him in there, which I thought was interesting. But you could definitely tell that it was him for that.
He did not do the sequels. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't think he did, but I wasn't sure. As you were saying that, I was questioning myself. That happens a lot too, where I'm like, wait.
What else? That's for new stuff. That's about it. Like we touched on the Lego stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I could talk Lego Star
Yeah.
Wars all day. It's
The
my favorite. Like, I love the shows too, and the video games are fantastic. Um, that's because you're not a gamer. Like, I'm a gamer, and like, yeah, and I think that also reflects on our toys or collectibles. I should say collectibles, shouldn't I?
right.
So you don't feel as bad. On what you choose for collectibles. So like, I like games and I love Lego. And I'm trying to say Lego and not Legos. So people, because anytime I say Legos, they're like, it's not plural.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's a name
I
company.
did not know that.
So if you hear me saying, "Oh, I'm building Lego," and it sounds really weird, like, why aren't you putting an S there? I got made fun of on a live stream for doing that.
Yeah, I guess
They
it's
did.
different
Oh,
now.
I know one thing. They did do an updated galaxy map last
Yes.
week,
Yeah.
and I talked about that on something else, but, the new galaxy map's really cool because what it did was it shows one of the things was it shows where Batuu is, and it's really close to Endor. I'm on the map right now.
Okay.
Um,
Bring it
yeah,
up if we can. Um,
so the likelihood of Disney parks expanding Star Wars, which is what, I want there you go. It's in the bottom left. Not quite bottom, but more on that left side, that, like, little peninsula. Um,
Wait
and
for
you'll
it to
see
hopefully focus again. I don't know if I expand it like that, it's not really focusing too great.
yeah, but yeah, you're in the right spot, though, but Endor's at the bottom of that little peninsula-looking thing, and then Batuu is above it. So, if we have Batuu and Endor that close to each other,
Right.
that's some good park expansion. There's some other stories that can happen, which that like there's a lot of stuff hinting to that in the Black Spire book, which is one of my
Okay.
favorites. So yeah, that would be really cool. I'm trying to see like what are some other ones.
Well, and I think, Mike had it up there the other day, At Atten is very close to Dathomir,
Yes.
which I think is pretty interesting.
Yeah. And also all of those are pretty close to Takodana.
Okay, so
So
I don't know what that is. What's Takodana?
Takodana is in Battlefront 2?
Okay.
I think it's in Battlefront 2. Um, and it is where isn't that Maz's temple?
Oh, okay.
I believe. Let me check. Mid-rim Takodana Castle. That's not her temple. I said temple. Um, maybe it's just in the game. Oh no, it is Kanata's castle.
Okay.
So Takodana is where Maz is at. They had Luke walking around Disneyland, I believe. Yes, they are starting to add more characters around the parks, especially
Yeah.
Disneyland because it's the 70th anniversary. Um, so I still wish they'd bring the projector show and fireworks to Florida, but they haven't yet. I'm sure they will. We shall see. Um, with some of this pirate stuff that's going on with like the new series and things that are coming up, do you think that Maz is going to make other appearances?
I
I
hope so.
I think Maz could make an appearance in the new Mall show
That'd be cool.
because she was a pirate
Oh, that's true.
and she's very old.
Yeah, because she's in The Force Awakens
Right.
and so on. So, obviously, she's around somewhere, and
Yes.
we haven't seen her yet, so we could definitely see her in any of these, but I didn't even think about that. It's definitely a good possibility for her to
Ooh.
be in the new Maul series for
Yeah,
sure.
we'll have to ask Mike. Has anyone else speculated that Maz would be in the new? Ooh, wouldn't it be cool if we're the first ones? You heard it here first, folks.
Well, I think everybody like us that wants to see her because we don't have a story yet. We all wanna know how she got Luke's lightsaber,
Uh, okay.
right?
N- yeah.
Because that's when she gives it to Rey.
Hmm. Are we gonna see her in Mall series?
That could be that's a very good question, which I think would be fantastic.
Ooh, all right. New poll.
There we go.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
use it. I'm gonna use
Let's
the
do it.
poll. Let
How
me get
many
on
people
this.
think?
All right. I don't know how Mike does all this stuff like at once by himself. That's just wild to me. All right.
And Steve has a little crown and a little number 1 next to his name.
Yep.
Interesting. All right, so you
He's the
closed out the
top.
one poll. Can you
Yeah.
see this poll? Yes. We got 6 votes on that. Sweet.
Okay. There we go. New poll is up. Steve said, "No idea." Use the poll now, though. We want that interaction. We want to make sure that our efforts on this technology is worth it for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, we're getting some no's. We got, we got 3 votes. We got
Okay.
2 yeses and a no. This is great. No idea for the crown. I think it's just that you're the number one. You're just the tops.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what that means. I think that you're just like the top commenter.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
High five to Steve.
So again, back to Kenobi. There's no official confirmation from Lucas or Disney yet. Kathleen Kennedy emphasized continuously in the past that we'd really have to answer a question why before greenlighting more Kenobi content. There's still the standard. I mean, what do you mean why? Because we all want it. Because it was your biggest live action, I think, to date. Uh, so yeah, like Nick said, like Nick was talking about, we'd have to have some cool stories, but I think like that book, you'd have to stay on Tatooine. He'd have to stay close. I think leaving this first time, you're opening that door up to someone finding Luke there
Mhm.
on Tatooine and him not being there, and then what? And obviously we know that comes to fruition in A New Hope.
Just give the people what they want. Come on, Kathleen.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too, is this Richmond guide credible? How many things has he dropped before, and have they been true? What's going on, Tim? Thanks for jumping on here. If you're joining us right now, we're just mainly talking about some of the new stuff that's come out for Star Wars. We went over Legos, and we're talking about the Kenobi season 2 possibly being one of the next projects, which would be fantastic. I just am not sure if it's gonna come to fruition in reference to Disney Plus.
Yeah. Now, I did see a report yesterday, so I'm pulling this up. Andor season 2 has become the first Star Wars show to stay on the Nielsen top 10 after the show's on-air window, at least as far as they've been tracking. And this is from Star Wars News, not .net. So it's ranked number 4 on the original charts with 527 million minutes viewed. And then in the week of May 26th through June 1st, it ranked number 10 on the same chart with 310 minutes watched. That's pretty spectacular.
Oh yeah, but it is. The whole freaking thing is spectacular, so that's a good thing. So hopefully
Well, the fact that it's still trending, it's the only Star Wars show to do so. That's pretty impressive. Nielsen chart is not easy, but if you think like, I forget what I was watching. Oh, I was watching Gary Vee. He's one of my favorites. He's a big marketing guy too, and he was talking about, can anyone name a show on network television right now that's new?
probably true.
The game's changed. You can name. I can name stuff on every streaming service: Netflix, Disney, HBO, whatever you've got and whatever you watch. We all know those shows, but regular TV has changed so much, so the reporting is different too. But to see like the Nielsen reports showing Star Wars, it's pretty cool stuff.
This damn light won't stop flashing.
My room's so bare because like all I've got left are my acoustic panels.
Everything. The news. LOL.
Yeah, that's also, I was like, Ron, don't ever move. Just don't move. Stay there forever. Because dude, this is my second move. Yeah. This is my second move in 2 years. I didn't even unpack all my Star Wars stuff. Just the stuff I did unpack in the small studio. I had 8. Oh gosh, this is so bad. I had 8 27-gallon Rubbermaid, like the black with the yellow lids. 8 of them.
Oh yeah.
And
that's awesome.
And that's not even all the stuff. Not even close.
I think I have, because I had to just start downsizing in here for my pops. I'm still collecting them, but I think I have like 4 of those full over in the storage area, and I probably got, 300 here still.
And they're all in boxes?
Yeah. Well, I have some that I actually bought it was a good deal. I think off of eBay. It was like a good deal. There was like 8 or 9 of them for like $10, and they were already out of their packaging. So I do have those up because I know you have a bunch of yours out of your packaging.
Almost
right?
all.
You have them all over them. You have them all over your room
Yeah,
and stuff.
The only ones I have in the packaging are the comic ones, like the comic book ones that I think I just like the boxes looked really cool. And then I have like a couple special editions that I kept in the boxes, but really, yeah.
Yeah, I have one. Yeah, so it's Jacob, you have to correct me if I'm wrong. I think I did pack it away, but it's the red guard.
I have that one,
but it's in a Spider-Man cardboard.
What?
Yeah, I think that's it, Jacob. Right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's either that or vice versa. It's either the red guard box with Spider-Man in it, but I think it's the red guard in the box, and it's a Spider-Man box.
Did you get that at the Hermitage Walgreens?
Probably.
Because that might make more sense to me.
Somebody probably switched it out. Well, I was
questionable people around those.
I was doing those Walgreen ones because they had Walgreen, just Walgreen ones, which were exclusives. That's what I was trying to think of. And I would go into Walgreens. Anyone that I passed, I would go in each week because new ones would drop, which was pretty cool. So I have a bunch of those, and it probably was that one. So yeah, it was probably somebody that mixed it up or whatever. But I got it. and brought it home, and I was just like, "What the hell?" And
And you got your Cara Dune ones, right? Before they took them out?
I don't know because I was doing all the old school stuff, so I might not actually have gotten her. I was showing Nick the other day. I finally got, or maybe I put it in our chat. I finally got my I'll just show it to you. I got Kanan in the purple, so the Black
Oh,
Series.
cool.
So I have him in the other one, but it's not part of the Black Series that everybody else is in Rebels. So I have all of my Rebels ones now.
That's cool.
All the main characters. But yeah, he's for whatever reason, obviously, I guess probably because he's dead. Kanan was a little more pricey than the rest of them.
I bet.
But I
Well,
was glad that I was able to get that because I got the regular Black Series one, and it came, and I was like, oh, this is the wrong box or the
oh,
wrong case that it was in. I mean, it's the right case, but it was the wrong style that I wanted.
well, I had so with the Cara Dune or Cara Dune, um, they they put them out and they didn't sell very well, and the place where I got a bunch of them was Hobby Lobby, and the one in Hermitage right there, and I got a bunch because they were selling for like $3 each, and then when they canceled her, they were selling for like 30 to $40 each on eBay, and I sold them all. All
Oh,
but one.
really?
I kept one and not the box. Yeah. So, yeah, Hobby Lobby's a decent spot to find some every now and then. Funkos are man, that's such an interesting collectible because they're not gonna be worth anything. So if you're collecting them, I mean, there might be a few that are, but they're gonna be like Beanie Babies. There's just tons of them. I just
Right.
collect them because I like them.
Yeah.
I think they look cool. And I met those guys at a Toy Fair, or at least some of their sales guys at Toy Fair in New York, and,
Okay.
I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Well, so it's the Imperial Guard pop, but it's in the Superior Spider-Man pop box.
Interesting.
Yeah. It still might be down here somewhere. Yeah.
Now, do you have any other, like, really weird pieces in your collection?
In reference to like pops,
No, just in general.
not I mean, for me or you or anybody listening, probably not. Just because I mean, I have my life size old school Yoda, which is probably one of my favorites. I mean, it's the what is it, the 3.5 foot tall,
Mhm.
with the cane, which is really cool. I have a bunch of Star Wars Celebration exclusives from the ones that I've gone to that I haven't opened, Lego stuff, like little Lego stuff. And the only reason I bought those was because they were Star Wars Celebration stuff.
Hmm.
So, but I mean, I have stuff from 77, 80, and 83, some of those toys, or collectibles, from back then. But at this point, there's a bunch of stuff. It's words coming out of the bathroom and walking right into the Yoda late at night.
So, one of my friends, in Nashville has Watto.
Oh, I wanted that, like, almost like sorta on that stick.
Yep. Yep, and then there's a movie theater here in Des Moines, Flick's Brew House, and it's
Uh,
like a place that, like, you can get food and beer while you're watching a movie, and they bring it to you. They have the Watto, and then they have a C-3PO, but, um, yeah, my my friend got the Watto at a yard sale. I'm like, "Dude, I will buy that from you,
Gosh, yeah.
please." I remember when you got the Yoda.
Yeah.
I remember that because 'cause you're like, "I'm gonna go get this." I'm like, "Yeah, you
Yeah.
better."
Yeah, it was right around the corner here. Somebody was getting rid of it. I was like, "Yep, I'm on my way."
Oh, Nick said,
Yeah.
"How about Jabba's toys?"
Yeah. So, we are, we are gonna be doing some stuff with Jabba's toys, the lightsabers. We met and talked with those guys. We've been going through, back and forth, emailing, so we should be getting some here shortly, and we're going to test them out and show you guys. But they're really great construction, and I think we talked about this 2 weeks ago when we were on. Um, oh, he said it keeps cutting out on his end. But anyways, they have some great lightsabers, and I think the coolest one that I thought along with like Luke or Anakin's original that Ben gives him or Yoda's, is the Cal Kestis one with the damage on it.
Yeah,
Which I
that one's
think
so good.
which is really cool.
Which I brought that up to Ryan and Katrin on Living at the Land Speeder, and Ryan goes, "You mean this one?" And he pulled that one out, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" But I think he said was from Galaxy's Edge, so it's a little bit different. But yeah, it's that same like distressed one or like the broken one.
Uh-oh. Derek froze up. Nick said you froze up there for a second.
Oh, did
Nick
I?
said it was going in and out. So
Oh, sorry about that.
it might be no, it might be on my end as well.
Yeah.
Right now, I
Well, if
don't
I
have.
froze up, I'm sorry. I'm trying to
Don't
watch it on my
happen
phone
again.
too. Oh, we do have some. We have 5 votes on the poll, so it's 40% yes, 60% no for will Maz be in the new mall show. Fine,
Okay.
fine, all you haters. When she's in it, just remember who said it.
I
This
think
guy.
that would be. I think that would be fun to get her in there because she has so much knowledge. But I think it would be really cool to put her in, and that would be a great spot for her to be in that in the animated series.
Yeah, it'd be so easy to animate her. Like, come on.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Maybe they
for
can have
sure.
Chewbacca and her doing a smooch or something.
Yeah.
She
Where's
loves
my
that
boyfriend?
Wookiee.
Mhm. Yeah. But,
That's
yeah,
the
to get back to
problem.
go ahead.
I was gonna say that's the problem with those movies is like, we don't love them, but there are some really cool characters. Like I know people don't like Babu Frick. Babu Frick's one of my absolute favorites. I
Oh,
love
dude,
Babu Frick.
he's freaking awesome. I bought a shirt. I got a Babu Frick shirt, and I bought, whatever I could buy Babu Frick, I bought it. And I really, how do you say, Ascendians or Acellians? What's the breeder? What's the breed or what's their the breed?
The
What's
breeder.
their
I'd
what's
love to
their,
have one.
what's their species? But the, IG-11, baby droid or
Mhm.
babysitting droid, I love that because it comes with, obviously, Grogu in the middle, but it comes with 2 Ancelians
And Zelen.
and Zellens,
Yeah.
and I just got them in IG-11's hands, just holding them. But, yeah, I thought they were fantastic. Babu Frick is awesome.
I love Babu so much. And that's why I'm like, oh, they're just putting him in there to sell merch. I'm like, of course they are. That's what the Ewoks were for.
Yeah.
Like the man.
But it's such a cool thing, you know, to have that type of character come out because he does play a big part in it, and he also has some comic relief
Mhm.
in there. But again, they're the ones that can, that put this IG-11 together. They're the mechanics. They're the ones that did the whole thing with C-3PO. So I mean, you have to have them in there. It's sort of like Jar Jar, the whole Jar Jar thing. You still have to have Jar Jar in this. If you don't have Jar Jar in this movie, now we got to find somebody else to make the decision to have Palpatine, become the interim,
Yeah.
you know.
Nick said third game and show. So were you saying Battlefront 3? Yeah, we better get Battlefront 3. We
Yeah.
better get Takodana again. We better get Maz. And then yes, put her in the show.
Yeah. Yeah, because Nick was talking, or Jacob was talking about Cal Kestis and how much longer we'll wait for the announcement for the third game. I think it will
Oh, for
be.
that third game. I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
thought we were talking about Battlefront 3. I didn't see Jacob's comment.
Well, and it might be for Battlefront 3. Or no, that is Cal Kestis. So that's probably going to be a while because, well, yeah, because Battlefront 3, if it comes out, which I'm guessing it probably will
Yeah.
at some point, they're already probably in the works trying to figure that out if they get a Cal Kestis. And I haven't finished watching all the cutscenes. How does Cal Kestis end? I mean, can we bring him into any of these live actions, or any, these movies which
They
people are talking about?
they can, but like they kind of closed up the game pretty well.
Okay.
Like I don't think. I mean, we could get a third game. I just don't know that we will. You guys had to remember with especially the gaming stuff. Like they have a pretty rocky relationship with a lot of these companies. If Battlefront 3 comes out, I'll be committed to getting Ron good at that game. Dude, let's go. I've been trying to get him on Battlefront 2 for 5 years or more. It's been out longer than that. That's scary.
Yeah. Once I retire, then I can start gaming. I would probably lose my job because that's all I would do is so I'm telling you, the gaming and Legos.
Hey,
I'd be
when you're on
done.
the road, you could be playing games on the road. Come on.
They do have you guys heard of Catan?
Yeah.
It's a board game. So they have so all the guys play it on the bus, which is awesome. But they have a Star Wars one, and I haven't learned how to play it yet. And I was like, if you guys get the Star Wars one, I'll learn how to play this. So they're one of the guys, Tim, was like, "All right, I'm buying that Star Wars." Like, all right, I'll have to figure out how to play it, but that would be fun. But yeah, I think I love watching, especially now that we know or that I know it's canon. I love watching the cutscenes because they are so long now. I mean, you can almost watch a 2 or 3 hour movie depending on how long they play in between to get to that next cutscene, which is pretty cool. So I really like watching that.
Yeah, did
As
you watch all the stuff with, like, Operation Cinder for Battlefronts and, like,
No,
all of
I've
those?
not watched, I've only done what was it, Star Killer
Mhm.
and
Force Unleashed.
yeah,
Yep.
those and now I'm still only on the first. What is it, Jedi Survivor, or was that the second one?
Jedi Survivor is the second one.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm still on the first one, the
Yeah.
first Cal
Fallen
Kestis.
Order,
Yeah.
which both are incredible. So the way, spoiler alert, it's been out long enough, but the way Jedi Survivor ends, they were looking for Tanalorr and they find it. It's a hidden sanctuary for Jedi and Force sensitives. And so they find it, and that's where like Marin and Cal are going to settle down and get out of all of this craziness. But I don't know. I don't know. We could see more for sure.
Well, I think they could bring Marin in, as well into some of this and into Ahsoka,
As they should. We and
you know?
we said that before on one of the other episodes. Like they absolutely should.
Yeah, being a Night Sister, and especially, as far as we know, which I think it is, they're bringing all those Night Sisters to Dathomir. I'm guessing again to put them in that water to bring them back to life again.
Jacob said I thought they went there to build a new Jedi Order. I don't. I have to double check. I kind of feel like it was like the sanctuary to kind of get away from the Empire and just to get away from all the fighting because he was tired of it.
We got some new people jumping on here. Go ahead and put some comments up there. Join the poll.
Yeah, we
Hit
do
the
have a
poll
poll
if you
going.
haven't. Smash a like, as Mike would say. Smash a freaking like.
Yeah, and if you
On there.
haven't subscribed, please do. But also, when you subscribe, hit the
pretty
bell
fun.
icon.
Watch this. Ha! Speak of the
Oh.
devil.
Hello there.
Hello
I
there.
said, like Mike says, smash a freaking like if you haven't already.
And then you popped up. We said your name too many times.
Oh, really?
You like Beetlejuice.
I was driving, so I have not been tuned in, but I can only stay for, I don't know, like 20 minutes, but I'm here for now.
Good. That's
No,
15
that'll
minutes
be
longer
good.
than I want to be here.
So now that you're here, we did a bunch of the new stuff like you were talking about yesterday, but while you are here, I wanted to talk to you. And I know we all liked Mandalorian, but I continue to hear things about season 3. And I have to disagree with everybody. I just watched it again, and especially the last 3 episodes, it's fantastic. I still got goosebumps. You have Moff Gideon coming in pretty much. If you watch it the first time, you're like, holy shit, this guy, he's going to win, and just everything that he has going on, the power that he has. And then the relationship with Grogu and Din Djarin, the relationship with Bo-Katan and all the Mandalorians. Uh, I think it's fantastic. I don't see. I think when we saw the end of season 2, everybody just freaked out, and you go up here, and then we come back, and it's like sort of regular again. But my take on Mandalorian season 3 just went up again when I watched it.
Yeah, so I think it's something similar that happens with The Mandalorian season 3, Book of Boba Fett, Kenobi, uh, maybe not The Acolyte, but Skeleton Crew, like all these shows. What happens is we watch them, and then we go, okay, maybe that wasn't as good as Mando season 2, or that wasn't as good as whatever. And we're comparing it to other things, and then time goes by, and we go, okay, I remember it not being as good as Mando 2, so it must not be good. And just over time, it just becomes like I haven't watched that in a while, so I forget what happens. And you only really remember the bad stuff, or you just don't remember it at all, and you just hate on it to hate on it, or you just don't remember. So, like you said, you just rewatched it. I completely agree with you. People almost forget that Bo-Katan has this crazy arc from the Clone Wars all the way to Mando season 3 that is done so perfectly in that third season. And Mandalore itself, too. Because there's this whole Mandalorian war going on, starting in the Clone Wars. Well, starting a long time, but starting in the Clone Wars, you got Death Watch versus Satine, and then it goes from there to all the way to Rebels, where we get the Empire versus Mandalorians, and then of course Moff Gideon turns it to glass, and then we get the final arc in the Mandalorian season 3, and they reclaim their home world. It's like this crazy arc that spans over decades, and it's great, but because it's not Luke Skywalker, it's not as good. And
we saw a mythosaur.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't get to see it in action, but still, yeah.
We're going to.
Yeah, we're going to.
I know we will.
Yeah, and I think a few of the things were like the filler episodes from season 1 and season 2, because we can't act like they weren't there either, were arguably better than the filler episodes of season 3. A lot of people really didn't like the Jack Black and Lizzo episode. That's one that always comes up time and time again. But yeah, I agree with you.
It was fun.
I know it was fun. It was separatists. It was droids. It was awesome. But there's a lot more good in Mando season 3 that people just gloss over because they're like, "Oh, Mando season 3 is terrible," just because it's not as good as season 2, because it's not Luke Skywalker, Boba Fett, Ahsoka, Bo-Katan cameo fest type deal. But I absolutely agree with you. I think it's just that, like Mando season 3, Book of Boba Fett. People just forget that there's really, really good stuff in there, like really good stuff.
Yeah, it really is, and it, like you said, it ties so much together, which I think is really cool, because we're going to get hopefully all of that stuff in there once once the movie, and I think Ahsoka comes out as well. I think we're going to get a bunch of that stuff as well. I want to catch up on one other thing that we were talking about. What's your opinion on Maz Kanata in Maul? Think we'll see her as a pirate?
Interesting. I never even thought of that.
So we just came up with this a little bit ago, like on the spot, because we were going over the Star Wars map.
Yeah.
The new map, and I saw that Batu is right by Endor, and I'm like, this is a great way to tie it in. Then I was like, wait, Takodana's over there. And Ron's like, wait, what's Takodana? Then I was like, it's in one of the games. And then I realized Maz's temple,
Maz's castle. Yeah.
And so then we're like, oh,
interesting.
So yeah, what's your take?
Honestly, I really like that, because Maz is a character that's supposedly 1,000 years old, and she has Luke Skywalker's lightsaber. She's got a bunch of pod racing flags outside her castle. Like, she's just a weird character who's got a bunch of cool stuff on her for no reason at all, and she's 1,000 years old, older than Yoda. So the fact that she honestly isn't in anything else yet is kind of crazy. So Maul might be that's actually a great idea, because honestly, I don't know how she would fit in. Does she have her castle yet already? Maybe, maybe not. It's going to be about the underworld, so I mean, why not?
Ron brought up a good point. How does she get Luke's lightsaber?
Yeah. Well, I don't think Maul can really tell us that, because, well, Luke is like a child, but or maybe, but
right. But if they like kind of set her up in something, it could be another expansion thing.
Yeah. Well, also, and I feel like I'm bringing it up every day now, this Luke Skywalker Jedi Temple show type deal that we've always talked about, that there's a relationship clearly there between at least Han and Maz Kanata.
Mhm.
So those two characters know of each other. She clearly didn't tell him about the lightsaber, but she's been around for a while, at least knowing the original trio. So, I mean, why not connect her to more different stories? I'd be down for that. I mean, Skeleton Crew, she should have been into, and if we do
Yeah.
get a Skeleton Crew season 2, then she could be in that. I don't know.
Yeah, that would have been. Yeah, I thought when that owl came out, I thought it was right
Yes,
for her.
exactly. You had a bunch of opportunities. That's the weirdest thing about Skeleton Crew. It's so great. It had a ton of opportunities to give us cameo fest, as people call it. They
Yeah.
could have given us Maz. They could have given us Hondo. They could have given us anybody, really, because Jod was a Jedi, or he's kind of a Jedi. He can wield the Force. So you could have done a lot of things and connected it back to Mando and Grogu, or done anything, and they purposely didn't. So it's interesting.
Well, and I was always waiting for Maz to be in like a High Republic thing,
Yeah.
because especially with the pirates and like the different things that are going on in those books,
Yeah.
it could timeline wise, it could work.
It honestly makes almost less sense. Like, where is she? Like, why is she not involved in any of this?
Or did they just forget? Like they're just like, oh, oh no, watch. Hey, Star Wars writers, if you're listening, use this, but credit us, please. Thank you.
Yeah. Just sprinkle in some Maz every once in a while. Like, there was a weird orange person off to the left, but we don't talk about her. I saw somebody in the chat say, let's see Hondo in Maul. Again, if it's Pirates and Underworld, you could get some Hondo too, for sure. Absolutely. I don't know. I really don't know. I see Boba Fett. I see Cad Bane being in the show, like bounty hunters and stuff.
Right. Well,
But-
plus Jim Cummings is, he's super active, obviously.
Yep.
I think he's incredible, but
Yeah.
like to me, his voice sounds the same in everything. And maybe I'm wrong, but like if you listen, Hondo is just was it Don Carnage from Tailspin? It's the same character. There's
Yeah.
there's it Ron or Don, whatever it is from Tailspin. And there's just like, and Tigger. So like I love Hondo, but I can't hear Hondo and not hear Tigger.
Yeah. No.
Jim Cummings.
Yeah. Jim Cummings. I definitely want more Hondo, because we know for a fact, because of Galaxy's Edge, that he's with the Resistance, or at least helping out the Resistance during the time of the sequels. So he's around. He's survived that long. We know that for a fact. And he's in Rebels, of course. But yeah, Maul's the perfect opportunity to get more of that guy, for sure.
Well, and I think they could bring several characters in. I think we'll have as cameos, which I think would be pretty cool, to have Hondo and Maz, along with some of these other bounty hunters that we haven't seen. We saw Bosk in Clone Wars, right?
Yeah.
We saw a bunch of Bosk in Clone Wars, but again, get a Dangar on there at some point, or things like that, which would be, I think, well, I guess they would all be pretty young as well, right? Because if we're in Maul, how far are we back from Yavin?
Oh, if it's going to start a couple years after Clone Wars, then we're like 15 to 19-ish, around that time.
Right.
So still a while away. But yeah, I mean, Boba's really young in Clone Wars, so he'd be a little bit older. I just want, like, maybe the reason they did Underworld is not to just set up Asajj with this apprentice, because maybe she'll show up in Maul, or maybe she'll show up in live action. I don't know. But also that whole story with Cad Bane, like, that could be extended maybe in the Maul series. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that would be fantastic if they brought. I think they could bring all of them in there, because you have, especially since we've talked about, hopefully this will be 2, 3, 4, 5 seasons worth of this animation to start, just like Clone Wars was, to bring and answer these questions, and we don't have to spend $300 million on an Andor project to answer these questions. We can put 4 or 5 years, or 3 or 4 years or seasons of the Maul series in there, and start to answer questions about Cad Bane and Maz Kanata and Hondo, have different stories back and forth, because they did do that with Clone Wars. It wasn't always Anakin and Obi-Wan or Ahsoka. There was episodes that you didn't see, maybe one or all 3 of them, because it was something else for that 25 or 30 minutes. I think that would be fantastic to bring her in, because we do need to know, a lot more about that. And she's been
No,
around for a long time.
absolutely. And I'm actually kind of curious because it's a Maul series, to see how they, I guess, go away from Maul. Because with all the other animated shows, like you just said, they have those arcs where the main characters aren't even in it for the most part. Rebels had it, Hondo's of course in that, but even the Bad Batch had it. Like Cad Bane's coming in with Fennec Shand and they're fighting, and of course the Clone Wars had a lot of that. So I wonder if Maul's going to stay on that path, or if it's just going to be about Maul and then it's just people who he comes across. I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, I think
Because
it'll
we're
be.
talking about that, and you missed it earlier. We were talking about the Kenobi season 2 potentially,
Ah, yes.
and we brought up because I would love to hear your opinion. We brought up that it's probably going to mostly be on Tatooine, but are they going to do some cutaways or some episodes about Leia? If they do, I mean, they haven't even announced it for real, but like,
Yeah. Well, that's what's interesting to me. I feel like season 2 should be on Tatooine. It should be about him learning to become a Force ghost. Maybe we got some villains on Tatooine that he has to come. But how it's hard to live up to the rematch that we saw in season 1, and you need a big enough conflict to sort of, I guess, rival that with a second season. Will they flash to Leia? Will they flash to Vader, even though they're not going to probably have a rematch? Will they still flash to those characters to tell their stories? I don't really know how much you could do with that young of a Leia after she got kidnapped. Like, she's not going to really be like involved in the Senate much, so there's not really too much you could do with her specifically. I really don't know. That was my biggest issue with a Kenobi season 2 for the last 3 years, is what's going to be the conflict? What's going to be something that's on the same level or even better than the rematch that we saw at the end of season 1? That's hard to do.
Mhm.
So that's why I've always been pretty hesitant when it comes to Kenobi season 2. But
yeah, your pal
I don't
Joe
know.
says Return of Liam Neeson. Yeah, we talked about that earlier too. We'd love to see it. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'd love to see it.
Yeah, well, if you're doing season 2, it has to be. Yeah, you have to have Liam Neeson. You have to have show that learning to become a Force ghost stuff, and that's honestly season 6 of the Clone Wars doesn't get the credit it's due. That story of Yoda going off, talking to the ghost of Darth Bane, and going talking to the wills of the Force, like that stuff's really really cool. Seeing the like fake future of Dooku with the Jedi still, and like all those people like celebrating whatever. That stuff in live action with Obi-Wan, like maybe he has Force visions of certain things. Maybe he talks to Yoda across the galaxy on Dagobah, like Ezra does in Rebels. Like there's some really cool things in terms of Force ghosts and learning to become a Force ghost that we haven't seen yet. That would be really cool to see in live action with Qui-Gon, Liam Neeson, and of course Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan.
Well, maybe he just comes across the huts. Maybe he has to do something with that.
Yeah, but again, that's not as good as going toe to toe with Vader and
Right.
Hayden Christensen's
That's
back.
my thing. Like I said on your spot yesterday, I would love it. It's my favorite live action so far.
Yeah.
Uh, but I think that there's so many different possibilities or lack of possibilities to do that, because again, he's not going to go off world again. It's going to have to be
Yeah.
something on Tatooine. And like Nick's actually driving, so he's been commenting, but he said something about the book, which is, it's not canon, correct? Isn't that what we said? It's not canon.
Yep.
So again, you could use that and bring it into canon, because a lot of that is on Tatooine. And the second part, like we were talking about with Liam Neeson, everything that I've seen from him, and I pulled it up after I was watching you yesterday. There's an interview where he's like, "Hey, I had a great time, doing the Kenobi thing, being around with him, Ewan for a minute, but I'm done."
Yeah.
So again, yeah, if Disney puts enough money in front of them, but I don't want to see them do a Jimmy Smith's Benjamin Bratt thing, because
no,
and bring a new Force ghost in as Qui-Gon, because people will be pissed if you
No, that
bring
would
in
never
somebody besides Liam Neeson to do Qui-Gon.
Yeah, no, that would never happen for sure. But I feel like, again, if you're Liam Neeson, and let's be honest, Liam Neeson has an incredible career, but right now, isn't he doing a Naked Gun reboot or something?
Oh no!
I think he is.
There is a Naked Gun, and he might be in it. I don't know, but
I
there
think
is
he's
a
the
new
main guy. I just saw the trailer for it
boy.
the other day. So,
Oh,
not to
boy.
say that his career is failing or anything, but why not come back to Star Wars? I mean, the fans are going to welcome you with open arms and celebrate you coming back. Like, why not take a paycheck, come over to the nice Mickey Mouse and give us some Qui-Gon Jinn. Stop being so selfish, Liam.
Is it Zyma or I don't know how you say that, but Darth Crate would be cool. And I know that like I've seen some Reddit threads of introducing him into Kenobi season 2 because the same like he said Darth Talon. Yeah, it'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, so I mean, the video I made on Monday and the live stream I had yesterday, it's all I talk about. Like I said, there's no way you can make a season 2 without a good enough villain or a good enough conflict, I guess. So Darth Crate seems to be my only option that I've found, or at least somebody's told me about, because Darth Crate works the best. It not only gives you a great villain for Kenobi season 2 because you can deal with the whole Force Ghost stuff while also having Luke in danger from a Tusken Raider Jedi who's killing moisture farmers. That would be awesome. You could give him a crazy cool lightsaber duel in the sand dunes of Tatooine versus Obi-Wan. He loses but survives, leaves, goes off to Moraban or whatever the canon version of the planet is called now, and learns to become a Force Ghost, maybe from the same ghost that Yoda saw of Darth Bane. Whatever. I mean, not Force Ghost. Learns to become a Sith Lord and becomes back all the way back post sequels as a crazy Sith Lord, Darth Crate, with Darth Talon at his side, who was set up in the Maul series, and a bunch of other Siths to go rival Rey's new Jedi Order. Like, that would be great. That'd be fan-freaking-tastic. Is it going to happen, though? I don't know. Only time will tell.
Yeah. I'm reading some of the lore.
Sorry, I was just going to say, where do you put that timeline in? Are we going to do, a year out? Are we going to try to make him look a little bit like Alec Guinness, and a little bit older, or are we going to pick up right where we left off, and do we bring a Reva in there again because she's alive, and I would think that if they do that they're going to put her in there somehow. They're going to bring as much slack as they got from her. We still have a story to be told in that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I could see them bringing back Reva. I don't know in what capacity. I think it's a horrible idea, but yeah, I think it'd be cool to bring back Krat, but the thing is, like, as I'm reading more of the lore and the stuff about him, he was a Jedi Master. I think I cut out for a minute, sorry. But yeah, he was a Jedi Master and then turned Dark Lord, but this is after the fall of Sidious. Now, of course, they can rewrite stuff. They've done it before. I don't really foresee them bringing him in. Yeah, no, it's hard to explain his backstory of being an actual Jedi, but you could also do it in a completely different way. Actually, you could do it in a way like he's just a Tusken Raider who maybe is Force sensitive, but he's a Tusken Raider, so he never got picked up by the Jedi, or he's a Boken Jedi like Ezra or whatever, and just finds a lightsaber, and now he just starts killing moisture farmers or something like that. You don't have to do the same backstory of being an actual Jedi, surviving Order 66, all that stuff. So there's ways you can get around that, I guess, but yeah, I don't know.
Because in this, it's also saying that Aurra Singh killed his father.
There you go.
Like, that's pretty cool. But and then it also says he was a Padawan of Ki-Adi-Mundi. So, yeah,
we're just retconning Ki-Adi-Mundi's story more. I mean, come on, they loved it the last time we retconned Ki-Adi-Mundi's story.
that would be pretty cool. And I think, like you said before, Mike, that seeing a Jedi like that would be pretty awesome. Sand person, whatever
you need to have a lightsaber duel to end the season. Like, if you want to even come close to competing against the Vader versus Obi-Wan at the end of season 1, it's got to be some sort of cool epic lightsaber duel. And you could do that. I mean, a Tusken Raider Jedi, we've never seen that before, which would be awesome. A lightsaber duel in the sand on Tatooine would be awesome. Getting to see him, as much as I love Vader, he's very mechanical and he's not like Anakin jumping around. So you get to see Obi-Wan face more of a quicker threat, and that would be kind of cool. So there's a lot you could do with that. So many people have brought up Maul. They're not going to redo Maul in live action, and he can't come to Tatooine before then because we know he doesn't know that he's there. So you can't really do Maul, but there's other options, I guess. An Ewok Jedi?
No.
Well, and your pal Joe. I mean, Ahsoka and Kenobi.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, the idea would be that if Obi-Wan does have to leave Tatooine, let's say because Yoda had to leave Coruscant to go on his Force Ghost journey, if he has to leave Tatooine, maybe he'd call in Ahsoka to come protect Luke. But he leaves Tatooine in the first season and just goes, bye, Luke, you fend for yourself. So maybe he doesn't do that this time because, well, the last time Reva hunted him down. So maybe he's like, okay, he needs some protection while I'm gone. Maybe, but I don't know. I don't see Ahsoka coming over and being a babysitter.
I don't see that either. And like I said, I don't see him leaving again off the planet. It would have to be either flashbacks, and I think like Jacob said something in reference to maybe seeing how people on Tatooine deal with the Empire, but again, what is that? An episode, maybe 2 that you can sort of go into, Mos Eisley or wherever, because there are some different things, what do you do with Boba Fett? Can you throw him in there somewhere? There's so many things that we could do, but I don't think that they're going to bring. I think that Crate would be the best option as well, because you don't want to bring in some of these other. You're not going to do, like you said, you're not going to do a Maul series. They've already done that. They've already got Maul and Obi-Wan, fighting twice. We got them in animation, dying. So it is what it is. We know the ending.
All right. Well, sadly, I do have to get on out of here. I appreciate you having me, of course.
Absolutely. Thank you for jumping on. Have a good. If you guys don't know, Mike will be off next week, but he does have some stuff on his channel. A guy who loves Star Wars. We will be on next week with. I will be gone, but I think I'm going to put the reins over to Derek and Nick. But
I got you.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it, and we'll look forward to seeing you in a couple weeks.
All right. See you, boys.
All right. See you, buddy. May the force be with you. And then there were 2, and then Nick's driving.
Have fun driving, Nick.
Nick, are you still here? Yeah, we do. See, your pal Joe. Sorry, I keep being dyslexic about that. I'm not a huge fan of the what ifs. I think they're cool, but like I've said before, pretty much in anything in the world today, you could what if all day long. Mm-hmm. What if this happened? What if that happened? Unfortunately or fortunately, we have to go with what Disney puts out and what Lucasfilm has put out. And that's my thoughts on the sequels. What if it wasn't Palpatine? What if it was this or that? That would be great.
I'd rather see more stuff like Tales of the Jedi or like Tales of the Sith. That's what I'd rather see.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Instead of different, the what ifs were cool in the Marvel universe, because I'm not as big of a Marvel fan as I am for that I am Star Wars. So I don't want to get off on this path over here when it really doesn't. It's not going to make sense, because Lucas and Disney aren't gonna do that. And I think it's cool what they do with the Lego stuff, like you were talking about earlier. We have a Darth Jar Jar in Legos.
Yeah.
So you can satisfy some of the fans doing that, which would be really cool. Yeah, the Tales, your pal Joe, the Tales series are phenomenal. They fill in so much cool cannon fodder in between to just let us know exactly what's going on with these, or giving people backstories in this 12 or 15-minute episode, and I think they've done a good job with all of them. Tales of the Old Republic, Jacob says.
Yeah, that'd be so good. Yeah. Let's go. Nick said, broken record here, something along the lines of Miller's Kenobi novel would be fantastic. Includes a lot of things you guys have touched on, and is also self-contained on Tatooine. I'm going to have to listen to it now.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to think. I know I got it somewhere. I just haven't read it or listened to it yet, and has really strong Kenobi depth and a little bit of Western vibe. Yeah, which again I thought was fantastic when even in the first one, you still have a little bit of that Western vibe in some of the towns that they were in, when Vader just comes through and is snapping necks and dragging people down the street, you have like a little thing going on there. The whole Mandalorian is sort of based on a Western thing, I think. So I think that would be cool as well. But it's going to be tough. Tales of Cal Kestis.
Your pal Joe must not know me very well, because if there's anything Cal Kestis, I will take it. I want it. I need it. I've been trying to insert him everywhere.
I think as much as popular as he has gotten, I think that we're gonna see Cameron in something.
Better
eventually here, and hopefully they're keeping it a secret, and we're not missing out on anything, because I'd love to see him in the Mandalorian and Grogu or the Ahsoka series, which would be fantastic.
It's the same. Yeah. I need it. Yeah, I definitely. And your pal Joe, you must be like a gamer too, or maybe you just love Cal Kestis. But if you're a gamer, you really love Cal Kestis, because those games are incredible. They're so amazing. Like they did an incredible job with them. Makes you love that character. Oh, look at that. Here's mine tonight. I've got this one is actually a tumbler. It does have a lid for it, but I'm not using it.
Nice.
But yeah, really cool looking. It's plastic.
Yeah, I'm a mega gamer.
Oh, perfect. Love it. So you're probably a Knights of the Old Republic coder person, like me. I love it. Bring it back. Let's get it back. We need some Knights of the Old Republic games. Make it an open world.
Now, are those interacting? Like, can you get on a headset and talk to people? What are those kinds of games called?
Oh, like
that you can play with other people?
Yeah, like online multiplayer or open world. Yeah, they're not. They're single player games. They made that new Outlaws game. I haven't played it. It looks okay, fine. But it's not it's open world, but it's only single player. Like, why'd they make an open world single player and then you can't customize your character? I don't know. Oh, and Joe asked if this is 3D printed. No, this is from Geeky Tiki, from Beeline Creative. They just did a line that was like tumblers. It has this really cool lid and a straw for it. I was just drinking straight out of it.
Yeah, Geeky Tiki.
That is a hard thing to say. Geeky Tiki.
Can you throw that in the chat there?
Can I? Sure can.
Oh,
do we want a link, or do you just want me to put what it is?
No, yeah, throw the link in there if you can find it, which I'm sure you can.
Of course I can.
But yeah, they're really cool. We so Derek and Nick have had them before. I got introduced to them this past May the 4th when we were at Chopper, which is a bar here in Nashville. We did a live there, which was cool. And they have a whole bunch of them for May the 4th, along with the whole month of May, which is really cool. But yeah, they're really cool. Very, very well made. So yeah, if you get on there and check them out, there's a ton of them on there.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
they're definitely in bed with Disney, like tons of Disney characters, all the Star Wars things. I even have a 4-piece set of Golden Girls Geeky Tikis.
Weirdo.
They had them on sale at TJ Maxx on closeout, and I was like, I have to have these. I don't know why.
Yeah, not a lot of fans for the Outlaw game.
I didn't even, like, for me to not buy a Star Wars game is pretty rare. Like, and like Squadrons came out, and Squadrons, they put it out, or they started developing it. It looked so good, and then they realized we're in way over our head here. And so they're like, we're just going to put out what we have and only charge $25. And then I was like, that's not so bad. $25. And it is a really fun game, but it's not like I know people that'll play it for hours and hours. I'm like, I can do like 30 minutes. But yeah, as far as Outlaws goes, like, I didn't even buy it. I had no desire to buy it. I don't have a connection with the character. Like, I don't have a problem with having a female character as your main character, but like, in an open world games, I want to make my own character. That's all.
Yeah.
The Squadrons was a good idea, but same thing. It was just not fun. Yeah. It wasn't fun for a long time. And you got people on there that were like so grindy. You got the sweaties on there that they were so good that it made it so it was almost unplayable. Like the
Okay.
difference in skill level is very high.
Yeah. Yeah, because that open world, that's I'm pretty sure that's what Jacob plays all the time. It's not Star
Mhm.
Wars, it's something else, but he's got his little headset and he's talking to people all over the probably all over the world.
Oh yeah. I mean,
You know?
that's like what I want. I want Red Dead Redemption 2, but Star Wars. That's it. I want to grief people in Star Wars, but like, yeah, that's what I want. It's either rookie mode or expert. Yeah, no in between. Yeah. Now, I wish they had squadrons where it was just flying the ships, and then I can use because I've got my VR and I have it hooked into the computer and can use my flight controls because I do Microsoft Flight Sim. That's what I want to do. I just want to fly around the ships. Like put Star Wars and Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Oh, and that was
Yeah.
my next question. Do you have you done do you do the VR?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I've heard
yeah.
that it's just like fantastic. And I don't know which game it is, but whatever game it is, they're like,
Yeah.
you're
So
immersed in the Star Wars universe.
it is. It takes a while to really build up your tolerance. Like when I first started, what is the name of that? Um, there's two things because you can also do the thing on Batu with the Sims, which is horrible. Um, it is
Vader Immortal.
no, no, that's something else. Um,
Oh, that's incredible. He said, "Haven't getting outlaws a full commitment." Yeah, yeah, that's Jacob. Yeah, I haven't heard great things about Outlaws. It looked really cool when it was coming out.
Star Wars Tales from Galaxy's Edge. I had a lot of fun with that because you're in Batu and you're doing some fun stuff.
That's a
But
VR.
yeah, but it does take yeah, I haven't played Vader Immortal. I forgot about that one. But the Tales from Galaxy's Edge is really fun. It's a lot because you're so immersive and you're looking around. You got to really get used to the VR.
Oh, okay. You just don't want to be like standing on a cliff because you probably walk off of it.
Yeah. Joe says Squadrons feels like it was made for VR. I feel like that's what they were doing with it, but it didn't. I mean, when did it come out? It was during the pandemic, I think. There was just something
Squadrons.
happened. Yeah, Squadrons.
Oh wow.
Wish we got an official Republic at War strategy game. That'd be cool. Yeah, um, I've got that like Dungeons and Dragons Star Wars game, and I haven't played it yet because no one wants to play with me. It's funny. It's like you're a Star Wars, you're into Star Wars nerd. And it's like, oh, you don't have any friends. And I'm like, oh yeah, you guys will be my friends, right?
Has anybody else tried the VR that's on the podcast now? And what do you guys think? Is it worth it? Because what the headset's what $400 or $500, isn't it?
It depends what you get. Like I've got the Meta Quest Pro now. I had the Meta Quest 2 and I got that for like $400, and the Pro is like when it came out it's $2,500. Now it's like 1,000.
Holy shit! Yeah,
But the pros are incredible. They're
Yeah.
so good, and I got it to do like more flight sim. And actually, what's really cool is you can play Xbox on them now. Now it's not like you're not moving around like this, but it's like you're playing on an IMAX, and it's really really nice. And I love to watch like ride through videos of roller coasters and different things that people did in 360 and VR. So yeah.
Right.
Joe says he has a Quest 2. Yeah, I've got a Quest 2 right over there, and then I've got my Meta Quest Pro over there.
Wish they waited for the Pro.
The Pros have really been slashed in price, so yeah, you could probably get one even cheaper now.
You can play Halo chess and everything. The Star Wars, what's Jacob say there? Augmented reality is pretty fun.
Oh, interesting.
Is that a VR, Jacob? I'm not sure.
Looks like the Meta Quest Pro is. Oh, whoa, hold on. No way. 500?
And
No.
what's that? Is that a VR goggles?
Yeah. Yeah. Now mine's different than that one. Oh, that's the Meta Quest 3 is 500. The Meta Quest Pro is still about 800 or 900. Yikes. Oh, augmented is a different form of virtual reality. Gotcha. I see what you're saying now.
Yeah, I want to put the glasses on and just be immersed in Batu or wherever.
Well, and they have those new VR kind of VR. They're just glasses, but they're like doing stuff more augmented, I guess.
Okay.
There's a game called Contractors, like Call of Duty for VR, but it had a ton of mods. Star Wars Battlefront, Halo Gear. Oh, that sounds fun. That sounds really fun. I'm just ready for like VR. Honestly, like VR is kind of going backwards. Like, it was really popular, and now it's dying off very, very quickly. And like Apple came out with theirs, and it just did not do well. It was way too expensive, and it didn't do games well. So you were trying to sell to like doctors and lawyers,
Right.
and they're like, well, I don't want VR. So, yeah, think Pokemon Go. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
I want
because I
some
think that would be cool to have that open world type of thing. And be able to talk to people while you're in the Star Wars universe. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
think
I would
that
love it.
that would
And
be
I
pretty-
think that's going to happen someday. I just don't like current VR, I think is different. Find the games that appeal to you and easy to play for long periods of time. Totally. I've been really loving playing Xbox on VR now that they added that. I'm a big Xbox guy. The cool thing with that too is it's pretty portable. So like Ron, if you're on the bus,
right.
rather than take a whole system, you can just take a VR headset and just play Xbox and just like you have your controller. You don't have to use
Really?
you just use a normal Xbox controller, but you're playing and it looks like it's an IMAX screen. You're not
Okay.
like going like this and looking around inside the
Right.
game, but it looks like an IMAX screen. It's wonderful.
That's cool. Nice. Well, we covered a lot of ground this chat. Appreciate everybody jumping on here. Again, we're what are we at? Yeah, we're almost at an hour and 40. So Mike jumping on, appreciate him. Again, if you haven't checked Mike out, which I'm sure everybody here has, a guy who loves Star Wars. He's on live 3 times a week, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. He was saying that he will be off next week. He's going on vacation, but he will still have content out. If you haven't already, please hit a like, hit a notify on this. We have put some shorts out. Check those out on all the platforms. Same Star Wars Jedi Chat. Check Nick's. Thank you for jumping on and your way to Minnesota. Appreciate you throwing in some comments and stuff here. If you haven't checked out Derek's podcast, Living with Landspeeder, new episode 49 is out now. So it's pretty cool. But we really appreciate everybody that's on here. We finally got the poll thing working. I know a couple weeks ago I was asking questions, and so Derek was kind enough to help and figure that out and throw up some polls, and we'll have some different things like that going on. We do have some interviews coming up, which is really fun. Once we get those done, they'll be edited and I'll put those on. Next week, it looks like I'm going to be gone again, but Nick and Derek will be here. Mike's off, so it'll just be Nick and Derek talking. If you have any ideas, anything you guys want to talk about, we'll always talk about the new Star Wars stuff coming out, especially if there's some big news. But again, we talked about Legos, we talked about games, the new Obi-Wan series. So appreciate everybody coming on here. Anything to say, Derek, to wrap it up?
No, I'll get some good ideas for next week. Maybe I can do some playthroughs of some of the game stuff if you guys want to see something crazy like that. Also, Mike and I have been chatting about Unreal Engine and building some Star Wars worlds
Nice.
virtually.
Okay.
So my
be
goal with this new house is I'm building a little video studio too, and I'm going to have a virtual set.
Oh, wow.
So hold on tight for that, folks.
You're such a geek, which is awesome.
I love it. It's what I
Yeah.
do for a living. I'm a nerd.
But again, thanks everybody for joining us. Star Wars Jedi Chat. Let me see. What else we got here? I got my one little. Oh yeah, here it is. If you haven't already, do that for me. And We will see you guys next week. Have a great rest of your evening and a great week, and may the force be with you. See you guys.